Hi, everyone. Welcome to the session. So let's start the today's session. So remember that HTML should only represent the content, and HTML only takes the structure of web page. It's only representation of your content, web page content. It's nothing to do with layout. So looks like let's see without CSS how the HTML page will look like. So let's see one example. Like first web page. Let's see how was the first web page in the internet. It was looks like this. This was the first web page on the internet, and you can see that it has simply line by line text, and they don't have a proper layout. They don't have a good layout, good UI and UX. And like if you see any other website, like I'm seeing this one. This is the website. This is my personal website. You can see everything is properly structured here. But in case if I remove the website CSS in the from the head, like let me search main style. Just don't have the main styles.css. This is the main CSS, and if we rename it like this, like where is the main CSS? Not this one is the main. It is also not the main CSS. Let's remove the head part for the now, and yeah, you can see that uh, page looks like this. Once I removed the CSS, which was uh, applying in the website, page look like this one, a messy one. Everything is just one by one and a messy layout. So that was the CSS, which uh, keeps layout good of a web page and which align everything properly on the web page. So just refresh and you see this is that. So this is the importance of CSS on the HTML. So Without HTML should only represent the content. Like we saw the first web page on the internet, there were only there was only content. We see a live website by removing the CSS, and we saw that structure got messy once we removed the CSS. So a different language called CSS is used to create rules about style. Rules about style. What do we mean by what? Uh, we mean by rules about style. So we will go deep dive in the what is CSS, what are the rules we are talking about. So CSS full form is cascading style sheets. Basically, it's not a programming language. It's a part of web development, front end development, where we do cosmetic changes on the web page by applying the CSS rules. So we use the CSS to applying the rules about the web pages. So what what kind of rules? What kind of rules we are applying? So rules like for particular text, this text should be red. There should be 20 pixel between these two elements. This navigation bar should stick to the top of the screen. This kind of rules we are we apply by using the CSS. So here we are covering the introduction of the CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. It basically describes the look and formatting of a web page. CSS is the only responsible for cosmetic changes. It describes look and formatting of a web page, how the web page will look like, how the everything will be formatted, what will be the font size, what will be the color, what what will be the font family, what will be the backgrounds, colors, etc. Basically, CSS is used for changing the presentation and styling. We covered that HTML only represent content of web page, while CSS use change the presentation of the content and styling of the web page. CSS is responsible to structure the layout in good manner based on the rules we defined in the UI and UX. So, and can apply to a markup language. CSS can apply to a markup language like HTML, XHTML, XML, and SVG. CSS basically separates content from the presentation. So if HTML is content, CSS is presentation. CSS separates the content from presentation. CSS align the every block of the HTML in a good manner and separate them so that they will look in user readable format and UI user friendly UI UX format. So CSS always are properties attributes style. CSS has the properties and attributes which can be styled. So by using CSS, we can change the layout, we can change the font family or typography of a web page, we can change the color, we can change the background, we can then apply the box properties by using CSS like border, margin, and padding. We can apply the CSS rule for the list and tables. So here is the syntax for the CSS style selector. The HTML element to which the style rule should be applied, it is a match expression specified as element tag name, value of the element's attribute, and elements place in the document tree. So every rule, like what should be the color of the heading, what should be the color of what should be the color of background, what should be the So we can specify the CSS on the particular elements tag name by using elements tag name. Like if we have headings, H1 or paragraph T or labels, we can apply the CSS to that particular elements tag name. Or these are the case sensitive, and we can apply value of elements attributes like elements id and classes. We can use id and classes to write the css for those particular elements. We can apply the css by elements placement in document tree. If there is a nested hierarchical structure, then we can apply the css for that particular child element nested within a parent. A sibling element is at the same nesting label. So we can apply CSS to target anything inside the HTML web page. Either it could be tag name, it could be ID and classes, and it could be child, it could be the same siblings in the same label. So CSS declaration block. How we can declare the CSS? How we can write the CSS? So list of declarations enclosed in curly braces. All the declarations, all the CSS we enclosed inside the were enclosed in curly braces. All the CSS can be we write all the CSS inside curly braces. And what is the basic syntax for the declaration? This is the syntax like property and value. Like property should be like for example color, and value should be the value of color like red, green, or any hexadecimal value. Property and values are predefined. In the CSS, property and values both are predefined. So we have to use those predefined values to style any elements inside the HTML web page. Property name is unique. Property name inside the CSS is always unique. It can't be redundant. Property value is specified in the multiple formats. Property value specified in the multiple. We can specify the property values in the multiple formats like keywords or mnemonics, and the combination of with symbol like hash, slash, numerical, hexadecimal, or a combination. Like color should be simple keywords or text like red or green, or it should be hexadecimal value like for black hash 0000, and some value may have units of measure, and some value have basically some units of measure like if we are adding padding or margin, there should be units like a pixel, how many pixels are we are going to use. So let's look this by having an example. So first, let's understand the syntax of a CSS, how we write the CSS inside HTML web pages. So suppose we want to try a color for body element. So let's create a basic HTML page and look write this thing as example. We are going to open our folder. And we see there is this thing. This is the basic web page, and let's we didn't declare the doc type. Let's declare the doc type HTML, and my first web page. So, like we mentioned, we can target this particular tag. If we can apply some CSS and classes inside these tags, and we can have also. So, to write the CSS inside a web page, we typically use the style tag. Let's open. So this is our web page. In previous class, we have implemented the live server extension on the VS Code, so we can have runtime results. So suppose now we are going to make this body color. We are targeting the body. So as we mentioned, we target any tag inside web page to write the CSS. So, and all the rules, all the property values should be inside curly braces. So this is the body tag. I target this body tag and I want to change the color of this body tag and color red. So this is the property color and value. Value is red and it is terminated by semicolon most of the time. So let's save the web page and you can see the color of this heading is red, this is paragraph, this is this thing. So this is the basic syntax of CSS body. It is the tag which we are targeting, and this color is the property, and we apply the simply keyword like red. So this is the selector. Let's have a look at the syntax very close. So body, this is the selector which we are selecting, which we are targeting to apply the CSS. And so body is here selector. We are selecting body. We are targeting body to apply the CSS rules. And color is a property. Here color is a property which is a predefined property. As we discussed, every property value is predefined inside the CSS. So color is property and red is value. Red is corresponding value of that particular property. So this is the syntax of CSS, and every rule must be inside the curly braces and terminated with semicolon. So this is, we have added the CSS inside our page, inside the head section. So alternatively, we can apply this outside our web page. Like we are creating a new file, style.css. So one more thing. Like here, we applied the CSS here. Similarly, we can apply, like we are adding the CSS here and saving the changes, and you can see changes are reverted back because we have removed the CSS. And there are three ways to write a CSS for the web page. One is inline. So inline CSS is to write the CSS on that particular selector, on that particular tag of the element. Like we use the style attribute, and inside style attribute we will use color property and then add the value of the property. And now we will see the web page, it's reflecting the red again. So this is the inline CSS. This is inline CSS. Oh, sorry. I am writing a comment for HTML. So this is the inline CSS. Once if we put this CSS, this particular property value pair inside the style tag of HTML inside head and remove this from here, and this would be body. Color red. So this style sheet which we are writing here and saving the page, so you can see it's still red because we have added CSS inside a page, and it's called the internal CSS. It's called the internal CSS. This CSS is internal CSS. Changes won't lost. But suppose internal and inline CSS is good for a very small page, and if we have less than 50 lines of code, 20 to 50 lines of code mostly. But what if we have multiple web pages? Like we are right now working on the one page, but what about if there are 50 plus web pages inside website? So if we write the internal CSS or inline CSS, and if we want to change the CSS further, if you want to apply any changes in upcoming future, then we have to do changes to go on each and every pages, each and every web pages. So I think that is a time consuming, and that's not a good idea. So is to solve this problem, we basically use a concept external CSS. We centralize the CSS in all, we put all the CSS in one file and link the particular CSS inside the head section and header section of the web page. So as we have added this CSS here, so like right now I will comment this one, and I will write the link the file. Live type style sheet and src. src is the location of the file. and we what is in head section we have the CSS. Sorry, uh, it should be HRES. So this all goes that again. So these are the three ways to write CSS for your web page: inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS. But my recommendation is always use external CSS until otherwise. Sorry, my recommendation is always use external CSS until otherwise internal or inline is necessary. Mostly avoid the inline CSS that will affect the page speed, page load time, and affect the SEO of your website. And use internal CSS if you have small CSS, and until otherwise it is necessary to use that. So let's start next. We have added our CSS. So we have added our external CSS to our web page. Further, we format the web page in separate components like header, footer, and content section. Then after refactoring, we have to edit only one to two places to affect the changes. Mostly once we change our style sheet, like if we want, suppose now we want the color not red, we want the color of CSS is, so this is blue. So we have added blue, and it will affect throughout the website where this style sheet is linked. So let's check this text got blue. So we have attached our CSS to a web page. Now let's write some more CSS to structure web page to present the layout good, and to make UI better and user friendly. So before moving to further, let's learn a bit about classes and ID. Like we have discussed that we can target particular tag or particular element, and we can target the particular attribute on that element, like and what is the use of that particular classes and ID. So like we are going to in our web page, like we have h1, we have let's write all the headings: h2, h3, h4, h5, h6, h2, h3, h4, 5, h6, and write two more paragraph. This is paragraph 1, this is 2, this is 3. Now, and let's enclose this one inside div tag, and copy this div tag. Now let's define some rules for these. So I want second and third paragraph in blue in both div. These blue, blue, blue. And I want all the headings, this first div in red, and all the headings in second div yellow, and first paragraph of this one is green, and first paragraph of orange. So how we could do that? How we could do that? First option is we apply the CSS for target each and every element, and write everything inside write every CSS separately for each element. Like for these headings, I write color style color equal to red, style color equal to red, style color equal to red, style color equal to red. And for these, style color equal to yellow, style color equal to yellow. And for this, write style color equal to orange, style color equal to orange. And style color equal to blue, style color equal to. But it's taking me some time. It's taking some time, and basically it's a time consuming process. Right now we have 3 paragraphs and 6 headings, but if we have more than 10 paragraphs in each section, in each div, then we have to write CSS separately, and that will be time consuming. I think that is not a good idea. So we write the classes. First thing, make the classes for all the things which are redundant, like this blue color happens here. This blue color happens here. To make a class like class attribute paragraph blue. I'm giving the name to understand the things, and I target this. I copy this class and write the style for this particular class. And once we write the style for particular class, we denote the class using the dot and then curly braces and color equal to blue. Now save this thing. I save this thing, and now I see my page. Oh, something messed up. What is wrong? Oh, comment. But it is taking all the blue because body color is set blue. So we can also target the class by using, let me rephrase this. Sorry, it will work. I'm changing the body class with something else like black. So this paragraph is blue. I need this also blue. These two also blue. So basically, I copy this class and add as attribute for all the places where we need a blue color. Now I will check web page. This blue, and this. Now, so I have copied the class as attribute and write the style at once, and it is affected at all over the places. Suppose I want to change the color, then we can change the color like I want purple. So it changed to the purple one. So I had to change CSS at once, and it will affect it at all the places where that class is added as an attribute throughout the web page. So this is the magic of using class. Now come back to the let's revert back to blue again. Now we have these one red, these one yellow. So we have all the elements. They can be all the classes h1, h2, h3, h6, hello, and we have all the headings inside the first is on the red. So also we have more than one options. Like first is we keep writing the CSS for each and every element, like h1, h2, h3, making the color red, 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 yellow, yellow, yellow. But what happened? And if you, but what happened if you want to change the color in upcoming near future? Like we don't like the color after some time, then we have to do the same thing again and again. So overcoming this thing, we just giving the ID to this div. ID equal to, I'm giving the first div, and I am giving the ID to this one. Second div. And one more thing, classes can be multiple inside an element, but ID should be unique. ID will be unique We can't have multiple IDs for any element, but we can have multiple classes for any element. Like for this, we have add another class here. But for the ID, in the case of ID, we can't have the another ID. ID is unique. So we again come back to our to write the CSS to ID. We denote the ID H1. Sorry, H1, and make color. First one is red, and copy this thing. Second is make it orange. Let's check what it goes to. So this heading is red, and this is heading is orange. But we need all these red. Either we can have another color for these, but we for using the same color, either we can have a common clause for all these, or we can have another way, like for all the headings, like first if h1 we comma separated h3 h4 5 h6. Same for second one, h2 h3 h4 h5 h6. Now check. These all headings are red. These all headings are orange. Even we can have the separate classes for every heading, but I think this one is better because we don't know where we should have the different color for every other heading tag, and also if we can write the things in single statement. Otherwise, we have to write separate classes each and every, for each and every element. Now, this thing got fixed. Now we have for the paragraph. This is paragraph 1 green. This is paragraph 1 orange. So we can have two options. Either we give a particular class for this paragraph and one class for this paragraph. Another option is we can use pseudo property of CSS. Like uh, we have given first tip. Let's write first tip here. First tip p nth child 1. What will be the color? What will be the color? So let's see if it will work. It's working. No, it's not working. There is something went wrong. And what is the wrong? Let's see some first. Let's see what are the pseudo characters or pseudo property. Then we will go deep dive. So we have understand what are the IDs and what are the classes till now. And cool animation things and more fonts because default ones are boring. So hey, I'm not boring. I'm the so let's check the pseudo classes for sorry. These are CSS3 selectors. So select the first element of its parent. If we have a nested structure, so to select the first element of its parent, we use the particular tag and use the first of type. Use particular tag and first of type and color red. Similarly, for last type, we use tag name and last of type and we give the color. If there is only one child, then we use only child. For nth child, to select a particular number, like we have uh, multiple headings or multiple paragraphs like we were doing right now. So to select the particular number, like we want to change the color of fifth or sixth one. So we use this property and write the tag name which we are selecting and nth child property and then the number we want which we are going to change. So let's see why it's not working, and in our cases it should work. First of type property. Yeah, it's working now. So similarly, we can do the same thing for the second div one. Like second div P, first of type, color equal to, what was the color? Orange. Blue. And the orange. So this is orange and this is blue. Now we are seeing we have two div, and so let's uh, basically divisions are the block level element. I mean, it covers the whole entire space of the web page. And you can see there are two divs and they are one by one, but we want them one after another, one beside one to each other. So how, let's give a color, different color to the div. I'm giving the background color, giving this to black. And for the second one, I am giving it some alphanumeric color like CC. So yeah, you can see that these are the block level events and it's cover the entire screen. And but we want these to one after another, and we see there are the text are touching the edges, so we need some spacing from the left. So let's give some spacing from the left. So left, top, bottom, and right. So first let's decide. I am giving the this div width 50%, and giving same. Let's say 2. Okay. So, and I want this to right of the black. So I am just writing some CSS and writing a property display inline block. By default, they are the block level, and doing same to this one. So you can see they are now. Let's uh, see. Yeah. So you can adjust a bit like 45 to 50 where it got adjustable. But I'm giving the bit 45 because we right now we will make these things centralized, and like here is right side space, so we make space from the left. So, but before that, we need some spacing for the text inside the box system, either division. So we need some spacing from the top, we need some spacing from the left, we need some spacing from the bottom, and right side have enough spacing. So we don't need spacing, but so there are two. So for that, we write padding. For internal space, we write padding, and padding it's come to clockwise, like the first one from top, I giving them 20 pixel, and then right for right, I don't need any padding. I just put 0, and bottom I need 10 pixel, then left I need 20 pixel again. So we have discussed that some values are on unit. So pixel is here unit. Px means pixel. So this is will assign the 20 pixel padding from the top. Then go to the clockwise direction. Then 0 pixel from the, for 0 we don't have to write the pixel by default. It's taking the pixel. For 0 we have taken from the right, 10 from the bottom, and 20 from the left. So let's save this and check the first one. You see there are spacing, we got some space from the for the text headings and our text. Similarly, we got some space from the top, so we can have some text on the bottom, like we are if we do similar padding from all the direction, like top, right, bottom and left, so then just either you can have the separate paddings like 20 pixel, 10 20 pixel, 20 pixel, 20 pixel, or you can just put single value and it will assign 20 pixels from to all the direction, like this. It assign the 20 pixel top, 20 pixel right, 20 pixel bottom, 20 pixel left. I am doing the same thing for the second division, second div, sorry. Oh. Yeah, better now. So we have now spacing and it is a bit readable for this. I just need to change this text color to something else, like I'm doing white for that, for white. And for the second is yellow. We can have something else. Made it purple. So it can look. So things are properly visible now. Headings purple, headings red. This is green. This is white. We change that. These are blue. These are blue. Now we need some space from for this one from the left, so that we can have some space like this one. So we give the first division margin. For margin, we simply do the same thing, like in clockwise. There are also margin padding. We can write the margin padding separately for any particular direction. Like I need margin from left, so I will assign the margin from left, like I'm assigning 50 pixel. So this is the 50 pixel margin. I'm going to make a bit less so that it's like 30 pixel. So it's better now. So we have like now margin, padding, text color, background, and any pseudo characters, and many more. So now suppose we need some menu, like we are adding header tag here, and then you will li like home, about, services, contact. So we have these things list. Now we want horizontal menu for these. So let's have something like we are giving some ID to this element, like main. We can also give, yeah, we are giving some class main main. We can also have some anchors like a char ef equal to, if we don't have anything, then we can put hash and then home. Similarly, anchor href about anchor href has services anchor href contact. So let's see these are the things. So let's write the property for these things. And I want first thing first. ID main. You can give the classes, but ID is more specific, so we don't mix up with another header or another menu items, because there may be multiple places we have menu. So we are giving a header a particular ID. We can use classes too if you want, but and I want background color for this is blue violet. So you have the background, but it still needs to clean up. And now I am going to main menu li display inline. So you can see these things are now displaying. And I want padding 10 pixel, 20 pixel. So it will assign padding 10 pixel for top and bottom and assign 20 pixel for left and right. Not got reflected, I think. Text decoration, none. So for text decoration, we are basically removing the dot things. which we are displaying here. And now we are targeting the anchor tag, because inside li there is anchor tag. So dot main menu ul li. I am targeting the everything so it can't be messed up. So I am applying padding 10 pixel, 20 pixel. Something wrong. Check what is wrong here. It's not targeting the elements, I think. So what could be wrong? Mm. Let's target the anchor tag directly, and we will see. Yep. So one more thing we are going to cover here. Things are not displaying properly because I didn't give a height. This thing height. Suppose I am giving 40 pixels. Height 40 pixels. Padding. And I want to change the text underline. Oh, sorry. Here, text decoration to yeah, underline was gone. And for one thing we can do, we were targeting the wrong because main menu is the already given to UL, and we were targeting UL2. One more thing we will do. Margin Zero or one. That is not. So here are the things like we can have more padding. Can have some margin. So 10 pixel does nothing. Does nothing. Height auto does nothing. Does nothing. Like it. So now we want to change the color of this menu text. So let's change color to white so it is visible properly. So now this is white, and we are giving some and suppose once we click on that particular button, so give the color to something else. So there is a over property. I am giving color yellow. So once you mouse take the mouse over the menu item, color is changing. So there is one thing left. So color is changing. So now we want to align this text. So we are doing something wrong here. So let's target this one first. Move the height. Good. So remove the height. Let's align the text center. Text align center. Text are aligned to the center. Copy this here. Let's check text align center now. And then target the UL element and add some padding here. Check. Yep, fine. Copy the padding from here and add here. So, and one more thing, we can assign some margin from these, this one, like margin 0, 30 pixel. And assign some more. So these are the basic elements, basic CSS rules which can be applied to HTML elements. We have seen how we can change the color by targeting a specific element, by targeting a specific class, a specific ID. We have learned how to change the background colors, change the color of fonts, how we align the boxes, how we align the menu items, how we change the color on uh, menu items on hover and uh, on normal. So these are the basic properties which are already used in any web development. There are some advanced properties which we are not going to cover in this session. Like there are some animation or transform property, like which is added in the CSS3, like 2D transformation and 3D transformation. So 2D is always 2-dimension and 3D is 3-dimension. And there are transformations like change of position, shape, and size of an element. CSS3 and transform operations that could be applied: move, scale, spin, stretch, and turn elements. So there are specified. We have transform property where we go with movement along x and y axis. That is the advanced topic of CSS3, which we are not going to cover in this session. Just we are going an overview. So and we use translate and to act along with x-axis and y-axis. And there is a rotation property for clockwise and anti-clockwise. Default is clockwise. And there is scaling is 2 decrease and increase and decrease of size along with the width and height. Skewing, skew 10 degree and 5 degree along with x-axis and y-axis. These are the options where we can apply that CSS3 transitions, like, and this is the example to apply in paragraph over with 200% transitions with 2 seconds. And there are some events like hover, active, checked, focus, enable, disable. So we can apply some CSS property based on event 2. So these are the basic elements, basic things uh, regarding the CSS. So we have learned how we can apply the CSS rules, CSS properties to a web page by targeting a specific element, by targeting a specific class, IDs, and more. How we can create inline CSS, how we can create internal CSS, how we can create external CSS. So this is for today's session, and tomorrow this is for today's session, and let's meet tomorrow session where we will discuss about the JavaScript, basic introduction of JavaScript, where we learn syntax and uh, basic syntax of the JavaScript. So thank you everyone for joining this session today, and let's meet tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day.